Welcome back to Selena's Table in our little Aussie homestead. I'm Selena. Today's video is a little bit different. I'm actually playing with the Ninja Creami. This is not a sponsored video in any way. However, I wanted to show you some of the ice cream flavors that I've come up with since purchasing my own little Ninja Creami. I love this machine. Now, if you don't know much about it, it is an ice cream maker essentially. You prepare the day before and then tomorrow you can process using the machine and have beautiful, creamy, delicious ice cream. It's popular with people who like protein shakes and things like that. I like it for using just whole fruit, so tinned fruit, processed through this, and it tastes amazing. It's so creamy and light and luscious. And I just wanted to show you some recipes I've come up with. They're not healthy. Okay, so don't be tuning in thinking this is going to be a healthy ice cream. This is an indulgent ice cream adventure we're going on today. So first of all, we're going to make 6 flavors, one of which is vanilla, because my absolute favorite treat is the McDonald's Vanilla McFlurry with the M&Ms and the cookie pieces. So I'm going to make my take on that one. So I will need a vanilla base for that. I'm also going to make another one that requires the vanilla base. So I'm going to make a double vanilla base first. So if you're not wanting to do a double vanilla, so it's going to do 2 of my containers. So just halve this vanilla recipe to do 1 container, okay? So the first flavor I want to make is my double vanilla so that I can do 2 different flavors at once. So what I like to do is use a tall jug, and I always like to blend using a stick blender, all right, because the Ninja Creami isn't actually a blender. So in this, for my double recipe, I need 1 400 ml can of coconut cream, to that, I want to add a tablespoon of vanilla, four tablespoons of a dessert pudding mix. I'm using this one. Two tablespoons of cream cheese, or thereabouts. Three tablespoons of icing sugar. Now I'm going to process this before I add my cream, but I will need 250 ml of a UHT whipping cream. So into my 2 containers, I'm going to pour this evenly as best I can. And then we're going to add our cream. That one's vanilla, so that's ready to go in. This one I want to turn into a gingerbread flavour. So I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon to this one because our mix-in will actually be gingerbread. So just a small teaspoon of cinnamon. Give that another mix. The next one I want to make is a caramel flavour, and I want to add a butterscotch mix in to that. So we are going to make a similar vanilla style base and then with caramel through it. So we're going to need a tin of coconut, coconut cream I should say, 1 tablespoon of icing sugar, one spoon of cream cheese, tablespoon, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then we want some dulce de leche. Now I've made that myself and I'll show you how to make that in an upcoming video, but for now we're just going to add 2 tablespoons of that. So that's our caramel base. The next flavour I want to do is a coconut based coffee, and I'm still not going to wash out my container. You may have noticed so far I haven't washed it out between doing vanilla, cinnamon, caramel, so I'm not going to wash it out now because a little bit of caramel in with coffee is still nice, so we don't need to wash it yet. Into our container. We want another tin of coconut. We want 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Two tablespoons of icing sugar. And this is 1 espresso shot, okay? You could also use instant coffee if that's what you wanted to use. Oh, we also need 1 tablespoon of cream cheese. The next two I want to do, I have rinsed out my container. I want to do a pina colada style, so that's just going to be a tin of pineapple and coconut cream. And the other one I want to do is based on cherry ripe. Cherry ripe is an Australian lolly that is a coconut, cherry and dark chocolate flavour. So for the cherry ripe, I have a tin of black cherries and their juice going in, and it doesn't quite come to the fill line, and that's where we want it to be because we're going to top that up with coconut milk or cream. And we have a tin of pineapple and its juice going in. With the pineapple, I do like to just give it a rough chop. If you had pineapple pieces, that would work better. You can also pre-blend the fruit if you would like. So I'm just going to push my fruit down. And the coconut cream, I've just given it a stir so that it's not separated anymore. And you just want to top up to the fill line. Okay, give that a little mix. Keep your fruit underneath the liquid. So I've had to swap a couple of lids so that they fit properly because I have genuine Ninja and also a generic brand here, but they are now ready to go into the freezer, and tomorrow I'll come back and process them, add the mix-ins, and we will have a taste test and see which ones are our favorite. So I'm going to put them in the freezer now and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, it's tomorrow. Our ice cream mixes are set, they are frozen, and it's time to do some spinning. So sometimes you need to leave them out for a little while, but not always, I've found. So that's up to you. If you have a dome form, you see there's a little dome there. You'll need to flatten that out So how I like to flatten it out is just grab a spoon and shave off the top of the dome till it's nice and flat, and then I'll just push that into any low spots, okay? So that we have a nice flat, even surface, because that's one thing that the Ninja Creami requires, is a flat, even surface. So I'm going to check on all of my flavors. Nope, the pineapple coconut has set nice and solid. Oh, coffee has a big dome, so that one's going to need some smoothing. Nice and smooth. Caramel, bit of a dome. So we don't normally process all of our ice creams in one go. I'm only doing that for the purpose of this video. If we had all of these made on a normal day, we would just process whatever we're wanting to eat that night or day. We have found that they don't remix as well the next time you want to do it. If you don't eat it all in one go, you can, and we do, but we do find that they're not quite as creamy as the first time that you spin them. Something worth noting, if you've never used a Ninja Creami before and you are wanting to buy one, they're noisy. So keep that in mind. This is not a quiet machine, and that is probably the thing that I was most unaware of when I bought it. This is an original, I don't know what the model is, but it only has like the 6 programs and then the mix in button. We will start with vanilla. So you want to take your ice cream, you put it in this little container, making sure your grooves line up with those holes. That's locking it in place. The other part is the lid, and there's the blade there. There is also a rubber ring here. So when you're washing it, these pieces come out and you need to remember to put them back in. Okay, so you've got a rubber seal here, a blade, and it clicks on similar to a food processor. And you'll hear a click. Okay, that's the lid locked in. This particular model, the bowl goes on front, and then we turn it until you hear another click. Okay, now we are locked in place and we're ready to hit the ice cream button. For the vanilla, I'm just going to hit the ice cream button. And for the purpose of this video, before I hit that button, I will say I will turn the sound right down for this part, because this may make you deaf, having it in the microphone. It's finished processing. To unlock it, you want to press, there's a button here, and hold, and then you can pull your little handled container down, and then the lid has a button here that you push and twist and it just comes off. So we aren't ready to eat yet, because you can see it's not creamy, it's kind of powdery looking. So what your options are here is you could add a little bit of milk or coconut milk and then reprocess. I'm just going to hit the respin button. So straight with the lid back on, in the same way you put it on originally. And there's a button that says respin down here. These lights here indicate where we're at in the process of the ice cream making. So you can see it's a lot creamier. It's sort of like a heavy ice cream consistency. This is where I like it to be before I add any mix-ins, if I'm adding mix-ins. And this is my vanilla McFlurry version. So in go some M&Ms into the middle. Lid back on. And then we're going to hit mix in. See these lights here? That's how I know when it's ready. The lights will all be flashing and then they'll turn off. You can see they're all lit up now. They'll flash. See? And then they turn off. So that's how I know I can then open the Ninja. And that should be perfect McFlurry texture. I could eat this all day, every day. I mean, it's not healthy, but it's delicious. Okay, I'm going to do caramel next. I'll save you the process of every single time I turn the machine on. I'm going to show you how all these turned out and then the different mix-ins that we added to them. So caramel will have ice cream. So caramel only needed the one ice cream spin, and I've had to dig a little hole in there because you need a hole in the center if you're going to add mix-ins. So this is just some crushed up butterscotch candies, and I'll show you how I did that. Hitting the mix-in button. Look at that. That looks so creamy and beautiful. Oh, that's delicious. So you know what this reminds me of? Hokey Pokey. If you know what Hokey Pokey ice cream is, you could add a little bit of chocolate, like chocolate chips as well, and then you really would have that like chocolate caramelized Hokey Pokey. Delicious. The next one I'm going to do is my gingerbread one. So that was our cinnamon vanilla base. And again, I'm not washing my lid yet, mainly because vanilla to caramel to then to gingerbread, none of those things are really a problem with flavor contaminating the batch. I wouldn't do like coffee and then pina colada though. So again, I'll hit the ice cream button. We've suctioned to the lid, and that one's going to need another respin. So you can respin like 3 times if you need to, or you can add just a little bit of liquid, being the milk that you used for whatever your base was. So we're just going to hit respin on that one. Gingerbread. It's got a nice hole in the middle ready. So my mix-in for my gingerbread is some gingerbread. Just some little pieces of gingerbread. And we just pop the lid back on. And hit mix-in. Oh, yes. Look at that. super creamy. And there's some chunks of gingerbread in there. Yeah. That's delicious. It really does taste like gingerbread. The cinnamon ice cream is really nice. It's not overpowering. Very, very gingerbread vibes. This will be one I'll be making for Christmas because it's so hot here at Christmas for us, but we still like the traditional flavors of things like gingerbread, and that's a really nice way to enjoy it. So I'll pop that one in the freezer. I'm actually going to rinse this out with some warm water now before I move on to my coffee flavor. Okay, I've just rinsed that out. So I haven't washed it up with detergent or anything, just given it a rinse out before we move on to the coffee flavor. So I'll pop this one in the freezer with the others. Coffee, in we go. Oh, better put the lid on. Ice cream. Not quite ready. See how it's a little powdery looking? That one needs a respin. That's a bit better. Still pretty solid. You could do another respin if you wanted. And if I wasn't adding a mix in, I would. But I'm going to add white chocolate. So I'm just going to make a little hole there and then add just some chocolate chips. It only takes about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of actual mix-ins. Okay, so there's my mix-in and lid back on. Mix in. Ooh, that looks great. There we go. You know what would be really good with the coffee one would be those chocolate covered coffee beans. They would go really well as a mix in. Oh. If you like coffee, make that. That's delicious. Yum. Okay, I've rinsed that lid out again because we are moving on to our fruit-based ice creams. And first up, we will do the pina colada. And for the pina colada, I will hit light ice cream. Ooh, look at that. So creamy looking already. Grab a spoon. Yeah, that's beautiful and fluffy and light. Now you could have that just like this. I do want to add a mix in. If I can make room. So good. So I've just got some coconut flakes and some white chocolate because it's dessert, so let's make it special. Try and get them in a hole in the middle. Okay, that one is busting out the top. I'm going to take a little bit off it. mix in. Ooh. So fluffy. Yes, yes, yes. This is a frozen pina colada without the alcohol. Wow. I'm going to be eating that all summer long. Delicious. Okay, lucky last is our cherry ripe inspired creamy. And I washed the lid out again. Light ice cream. Right. Let's see how this one's gone. Okay, it's really soft. Maybe this one needed to be frozen for a bit longer. So what I can do is I can pop that back in the freezer and then process it again because it's a bit sloppy, but I'll give it a taste. Got a really deep cherry sorbet flavour, okay? It's gonna go great with our mix-ins. I'm gonna pop that back in the freezer. When it's a little firmer, I will reprocess it. Okay, so we will add our coconut, our dark chocolate chips, and a little bit of our cherry ripe candy bar to the mix. And hit mix in. Okay, this one is still soft, so it either needed a bit more for the freezer, or maybe we should have added a little more of the coconut cream and a little less of the syrup that this one was in. But even soft, it's still gonna be delicious. And I can refreeze it for a bit longer anyway, and it'll set up. It's really yummy though. Definitely worth doing. That's delicious. There we have all of our delicious Ninja creamy flavors. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so much fun to make. These are amazing flavors. I hope you give some of them a try. And if you have a Ninja Creami, that is, yeah. So enjoy your week. We will be enjoying these for the next few days. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I don't even think I can pick a favorite. They are all really, really yummy. Yeah. I can't pick a favorite. If you give them a try, let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. They are so good.